Hello and welcome to the G3 Pulse podcast. My guest today is Duncan Faithfull, Chief Commercial Officer at Quixant. Duncan, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Lewis. How are you?
All very good, thank you. All very good. It's been a while since we actually met in person, which was back at the ICE show in London in April. Since then, situations and things that we're talking and catching up about, obviously, from Quixant's side, very important and pivotal in terms of slot machine manufacturing and really where we are with chipsets and all kind of global supply issues, which we've been catching up with Quixant probably for the last 2 years. And these conversations have kind of steered not only what we think about the industry, but where we are in buying cars and Apples and computer and products and all these kind of things at the same time. So in terms of a steer, I was wondering, we caught up at ICE, but the year was still kind of unfolding. We were still looking ahead into 2022. And I was just going to ask you, what have you seen in terms of an improving picture? What stayed the same, and what's now kind of challenging, I guess, as well as we kind of head into this latter part of the year?
Yeah. So I think 2022 has been fascinating, and my team were making fun of me earlier because every January I say this year will be better. And I think 2022 has seen continued challenges that have been very similar to the last couple of years. Lewis, I think we all expected the supply chain challenges to get a bit better. Yeah. But I think the reality is they're here with us for a little bit longer yet. So 2022 has been a year where we've really focused on our current customer base. So at Quixant, we've spent a lot of time making sure that our products are available to our customers. And I think actually most importantly this year, availability has been really king, because as our customers have tried to ramp up production, because the sentiment in the market is positive, but supply has been king. So we've really focused on making sure that our engineering effort has been around creating sustainable supply chain solutions. I think 2022 is really exciting because we can all see that the world is getting back to some sort of normal. I just think there's going to be a lag between the expectation that it happens now and the reality. So focus on availability, making sure that we're set up to be successful for the next few years, not just in 2022.
Okay, well, in terms of that supply, how is that affecting price? And we're all seeing a kind of inflationary pressures right across the board at the minute. What's happening in terms of the markets for components? And we're already seeing machine prices rising. All the annual reports that came out from, all the quarterly reports that came out from the slot manufacturers, they were passing on costs to operators. And I just wondered, have we hit a peak of that price rise and inflationary side, or are we still climbing? And what are there any other drivers to that as well? Yeah.
No, good question. So I can only speak for Quixant, but Quixant's reasonably unique, I think, in that the vast majority of our products will have around about 1,000 components on them. So for us, it only takes one for there to be some sort of price spike, and it impacts both the availability in terms of creating that product, but also sort of the price impact. Just on your point around the manufacturer's pricing strategy, I think for a couple of years they've done really well and not passed increases on to the operators at a time when we've all had to try and cut our cloth a little bit. But I think it's got to a point now where the price has to be passed on. I think the issue, what we're seeing is there's still a supply demand imbalance, Lewis, and that's for certain components at certain times, and that's not standard. Okay. So I think Quixant has focused on how do we make our products from a supply chain perspective really resilient, and that's included things like making our core base product able to use different components based on availability at certain times. It's quite hard for us because a lot of our customers are in regulated markets, so swapping components in and out is quite difficult. But again, I think from a what's important to our customers' perspective, it's availability and guarantee of supply. However, to answer your question, we're seeing pricing plateau now in terms of the bulk of the components. So our BOM costs are becoming fairly stable. Right. I think our expectation is that they'll stay stable now through until sort of the end of Q1, getting into Q2 next year, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, we can start seeing some BOM costs reduce. And at that point, our strategy has been that we will pass that straight back to our customers.
In the last podcast we did with Quixant, which was with Leo Bateman, he was talking about the way that you changed your products and not stripped them right, but in some way they kind of swapped out components that were, the ones that were challenging to pick up and use things in the most kind of most efficient way. Has that kind of alleviated any of that pressure? And is that something you're still doing, or have you kind of solidified your product base now?
Yeah, so we rationalized our product range firstly, right at the start of all these component issues. So we figured it was a better strategy to plan our future around a tighter product range, so that we could spread those components over fewer different products. So that's the first thing we did. And over the last 2 years, we've re-engineered all of our computer boards to be able to take different components. And we actually believe that that's a really sensible strategy going forward. I don't know whether we will see the back of all component issues now for a couple of years, but I think the ability to respond quickly is the most important thing. So we have, for all of the major components on our products, we have the ability to swap in and swap out, Lewis, and we're going to carry on doing that. And I think that's just about integrity of supply. We have to be able to give a certainty to our customers that our products will be available, and I think that's probably the only way we can do that. I'm sure all of your listeners know, Quixant only operate in the gaming industry. Yeah. So we're very focused on that. We don't have to spread our components across different market verticals. So actually it's easier for us maybe just to focus on our ability to flex our engineering support where we need to. So yeah, our focus will be to continue to give multiple options in terms of key components on our products. I think AMD has shown the importance of that, Lewis. We all know what's happening with AMD over the next few years. So our ability to offer choice, firstly, about what graphics solution our customers choose, but also that resilience point. And I don't think we can underplay the importance of giving certainty to our customers. So that's our focus.
Okay. As you're talking about products and focusing on that side, obviously we're on the kind of cusp of the show season. It's all kicking off in September and October. Yeah. Quixant exhibited at G2E last year, even though it was mostly a domestic show. Yeah. I was wondering how you found that. Was that a worthwhile kind of experience, and what progress you've made in the States since then?
Firstly, it was great to be back. I mean, I think that's the reality, isn't it? We're a people-based industry, and it was great to see lots of people all together in one place again. So Quixant's plan is we will support all the shows that we can. So we've been to OIGA, for instance. We've been to Gamoa. So we're doing as many shows as we can. But G2E really was the catalyst to a new product portfolio that we're going to be launching over the next 6 months or so. So our cabinet propositions. So actually, it was a really great opportunity for us to showcase those for the first time, but also just to have a sense check really of where everybody is in the industry. And I think our view of the feedback of that was overwhelmingly positive, and people can't wait to get back to what they really do for a living. I think one of the things that was common was, I think there's a continued and increasing need for outsourcing some of the hardware components for our customers and our partners. We want them, and they want to focus on game content, game creation, making the best games possible. And I think more and more our experience is that some of that hardware procurement activity that is really hard now, based on what we've just spoken about. Actually, our customers don't really want to have to focus all of their time and energy on that. So I think there will be an increased outsourcing requirement as we go over the next couple of years. But we can't wait. We're off to G2E again in a few weeks' time, and we're planning on showcasing everything we do there. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I was going to ask. Obviously, I've not been for 3 years now. This is an anticipation, but from all accounts, and speaking to various people, both from the state side of the last couple of podcasts we did with Interblock and Acres, it looks like it's probably going to be one of the biggest G2Es ever. Not just a return to form, but an actual kind of step on from where we're kind of seeing, just because of the sports betting interest and online interest in the States as well. We're seeing land-based casinos recording the highest ever profits across from slots through to tables in the States as well. So the domestic market is on a flyer. What's Quixant going to be showing particularly at the on your booth, and what progress have you been making in the States as well?
So we'll be showcasing two things. So first of all, our core product range of our gaming PCs will still hero. That's actually our bread and butter, and we believe that there is, back to the outsourcing discussion we've just had, real big opportunities for that as we move forward. So we'll be showcasing our range of gaming hardware, but also launching our new range of cabinets. So we have, I won't share too much because some of it's a big reveal at G2E, but we have two ranges of cabinets that we're launching. And I think back to the point about outsourcing, if you look at procurement of cabinets, there's a lot that goes into that, and we've seen lots of issues with bill validators, etc. Over recent months, and I think more and more a lot of customers will look for a full turnkey solution for cabinets, so that they can just put their game on it, plug and play, and off they go. And Quixant has a reputation for real high quality hardware, and we want to bring that to the cabinet propositions that we'll be launching at G2E. So big focus on those, big focus on our traditional gaming hardware, but also talking about how our software propositions can really help game designers create just the best content they can. So really looking forward to it, to showcase everything we can do.
Well, the playing back to that point, kind of wrapping up. Do you think the actual landscape is changing in terms of from the slot manufacturers? You mentioned there about proprietary platforms and things. Is there kind of, I don't even know the word, but a less uniquing of platforms in a way, in that kind of sense, where you're coming to a kind of a common ground because of supply and efficiency issues, and is there greater emphasis because of that on partnerships with Quixant and with the actual OEMs?
Yes, I think for certain, and I think over the next year or so we'll see that develop into real partnerships, Lewis. Certainly the conversations we've been having around both the hardware common platform approach, but also the software common platform approach, I think will accelerate. Back to the point about what do our customers and our partners really want to be doing? It's about creating the best games. I believe that the IP for our customer base isn't in creating a bespoke software platform upon which their games sit. Why spend the time doing that when there are people in the market who frankly are expert at doing that? And I think that will continue and speed up, Lewis, and we're certainly positioning ourselves to be able to facilitate that sort of approach moving forward. I think certain parts of the market are already there. I think as you go towards sort of the big tier one game manufacturers, that'll take a bit longer, but certainly from the point of view of the partners we're talking to around our cabinet proposition, it's very much around, actually, you do everything else, Quixant. We just want to create the best game content and the best maths and actually drive the best game possible. So I think that's a really exciting development for our industry, but I think it'll take a while for people to really buy into that as an outsourcing.
Yeah. I mean, they were talking about this for a long time. I mean, almost like Xbox, PlayStation type environments in which somebody takes care of the hardware, and then you have the ease of the software integration, and then you concentrate on the games, which is basically what we're seeing a lot from the online side as well, where your actual focus is on games and games and games, and we're seeing huge volumes coming out from that side of the marketplace, and maybe a similar side for the land-based.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen. And if you look at the last 12 months, we've talked about what Quixant has been doing for the last 12 months or so. Actually, for our customers who are living and breathing the day-to-day component issues, actually it's a full-time job. This is a real balancing act of switching in, switching out components to make sure we can offer certainty of supply. And why would they want to do that? First of all, why not outsource that to an organization that has real deep links into that Far East component market, which we do. We have had for sort of 20 years, and there's just no added value to the consumer for them spending time doing that. Let's just create brilliant content and keep sort of the industry vibrant and growing, and I think that's the best for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to kind of catching up and chatting again at G2E. I don't see anything particularly changing from the market side between them, but I am looking forward to actually looking at the new products that you're going to be showcasing. You've teased the new cabinets as well. So no, looking forward to all of that. Looking forward to traveling to Vegas again, being part of that kind of show experience as well. And yeah, fingers crossed. In the meantime, some of these pressures that are causing the industry so much problems, not just for them but for yourselves as well, in terms of getting your products over the line. Hopefully, we're not talking in another 12 months' time in exactly the same spot, saying this kind of Groundhog Day scenario that's been happening for so long as well. So no, but in the meantime, Duncan, thank you very much for taking part in the podcast. We keep up with Quixant's developments on a regular basis because everyone's asking the same questions as I've been asking today as well. So thank you for taking the hot seat and running through all the answers as well.
Pleasure, Lewis. Great to see you, and look forward to seeing you in Vegas.
Thank you.